So, Chris Hansen, a lot of you guys have seen him. A lot of you guys have seen the shows that he does. Evan will provide some background information in a couple minutes. Um, but it's got me and Evan thinking: is he a zero? Is he a hero? Or is he somewhere in between? Evan, what do you think?
Yeah, so Chris Hansen's had a very long career. He was on NBC. How to Catch a Predator was his show because he would catch, it wasn't a hunting show. Well, in a way, it was a hunting show, but essentially, he would look for older guys, usually guys, but not necessarily guys, just older people trying to, groom on kids, 14 years old, 13 years old. They didn't really go below that, which is honestly really messed up if you do that. But they were very interesting because they had the whole process. They had the police. Like if you see the videos, a typical arrest would be, the predator, I guess you could say, or the approacher would come into, the house. He would talk to suppose they would have a decoy, like, younger girl, but not actually a younger girl, talking to him for a little bit. They'd talk for a couple minutes. He'd say, "Oh, I got to go grab a glass of water," or something like that. And then Chris Hansen comes out. He's coming out to investigate. They got cameras and all that set up. They talk, they interrogate, sometimes only for like 5 minutes. Sometimes the guy wants to get out of there. Sometimes for a long time. Sometimes the predator, I guess, breaks down in tears, because of what they've done. They'll talk, and then at the end, Chris Hansen says you're free to go, and he walks in. They say you got to walk out the garage. He walks out the garage, and like five cops are there to cuff him and take him in. So it's a very interesting. It's a sad story because of what happens. Like these guys are very messed up. We don't got to go into all that. It's just, there's something very not right in their minds to do something like this. But what I want to focus on more of is it, like what Jake said. Is he a hero, a zero, or somewhere in between by doing this? Because critics would say you're just doing this for attention. You don't actually care about the kids. If you did, you would go younger because that's where more of the sick people are. And there's some argument to that. And then there's some people who think this is good. You got to bring these guys to attention. You got to embarrass them. You got to arrest them. And then, set an example that this is not okay. I think he's a hero. To answer the question, I think he's a hero, but I would do it a little bit differently because I think this is not like a mistake. A mistake is like when you don't tie your shoe and you trip. Or a mistake is like when you accidentally say something a little bit mean, like, "Oh wow, I was in a bad day." I say something mean. This is not a mistake. This is I want to say a mental crisis. Kind of with these people that decide to go after kids. Like this isn't really just a mistake. He kind of takes it the route as it's a mistake. I'm going to embarrass them. They're going to learn. I don't think it's like that. I think what you have to do, and some people have mentioned this, that's why they would like to see him go after some of the more violent ones, or not violent ones, but the more extreme ones. And I definitely agree with this. So I think he is a hero to an extent. Do I doubt he's doing some of it for the clout? No, of course not. Or of course not. I don't. I think he definitely would be doing some of it for the clout. I just think it's a good cause, though. Any way you dice it, it's a good cause. And, I think, it had good ratings for a while. I think there was some beneficiary towards it. And now you see on YouTube, you see these other guys like, I don't know if you guys know a YouTuber by the name of EDP445. We're not going to go too much into that, but that was a huge thing 2 years ago with some off-brand people. Again, doing it in ways I don't completely agree with, but they're spreading a good message that, listen, this is not okay. I don't think that, again, in my personal opinion, I don't think the embarrassment is the best factor. They embarrassed EDP. I don't know if that's the best factor to get the solution, but the point is we're making a case that's not okay, which the pro side of the pro Chris Hansen, this is the last thing I'll say. The pro Chris Hansen people will say, well, the law has pretty much ignored it. Like they ignore these guys when it comes to punishing them. So we have to forcefully, do our part in it, make sure these guys pay the price. So in that end, it's good. I do think it's good overall. I just would handle it a little bit differently.